So you saw that leaked bad review of the new Superman movie from James Gunn, calling it a disaster, right? The one that magically was posted and then deleted minutes later, like 12 hours before the flood of glowing praise from fans, influencers, and critics magically poured in like synchronized swimmers at a PR pool party. Yeah, that wasn't an accident. That was a setup. So welcome back to What They Hide, where I decode the manipulation and mind games behind the headlines, the celebrities, and yes, the Hollywood movie studios pretending to trip over their own marketing strategy. So today, I'm tearing the cape off Warner Brothers' latest psychological PR stunt, the fake negative leak that saved Superman. And by the way, if you enjoy exposés of the dark psychological mind games behind the scenes of the rich, famous, and powerful, from the world's best human behavior hacker, take a second now and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then type WTH in the comments. And as a thank you gift for subscribing, I'm going to give you 100% free instant access to my VIP, fully uncensored What They Hide Insiders Patreon group, completely free for a full month. The stuff in there is too shocking, too deep, and too controversial for the general public. YouTube won't even let me post it. So if that's you and you can handle it, drop WTH in the comments now and go get access. So here's what went down. Literally one day before Warner Brothers rolled out their social media embargo lifted, and will you look at that, 100% positively charged and glowing reviews of their new Superman reboot movie, a devastatingly negative and supposedly leaked early review from the Daily Beast hit social media. It was negative. It was dismissive. It's the kind of thing that makes nerd Twitter lose its mind. And it called the new Superman movie a terrible mess. And this is their quote, final nail in the superhero cinema's coffin. And online was going absolutely bat-ass crazy, talking, lamenting, and wringing their hands over it. Then, boom, like clockwork. A few hours later at midnight, Warner Brothers lifts their embargo, and the first wave of social media reactions from early screenings of the movie hit social media. And a torrent of what looks, sounds, and feels like what can only be described as fully studio curated praise and Superman movie glazing worse than J.D. Vance glazes Donald Trump floods your feed and mine. Fan posts, influencer reactions, and supposed internet movie critics calling it the most emotional Superman since Donner and the best Superman movie ever. A full 50% of them including in their reactions, I laughed, I cried. Are you serious? Even Grace Randolph, a known James Gunn movie hater, is tweeting that it's, and it's a quote, the best Superman movie of all time. And literally minutes later, the official Superman Twitter account is publicly posting that it wants to use Grace's tweet in its online promotions. I'm sure she wasn't looking for that. And suddenly, the narrative flips from, this is going to suck, to, wait, is this actually good? Is it epic? And you can feel the euphoria of the online fans overflowing online. And by 9 a.m. the next morning, everybody who was skeptical and worried is suddenly posting about how now they can't wait to see it. And thank God, I'm so glad to hear it's epic. The movie YouTubers like my guy Michael Roman over at Everything Always are all online screaming about the overwhelmingly positive social media post about the new Superman movie. And we should all be happy that this movie is clearly amazing. And the public buzz on the movie has suddenly transformed from nervous and worried and I heard it's a mess to can't wait to see it. It's a masterpiece, literally overnight. Congratulations, my friend. You just got played by a classic Hollywood manipulation and mind game, PsyOp. Remember, this is the same thing we all heard about The Flash when its social media reactions came out. Even James Gunn was online talking about how it was incredible and one of the best superhero movies ever made. And you and I both know The Flash was the biggest pile of hot trash since the landfill was invented. Lucky for you, though, your favorite uncensored, unbought, and unafraid human behavior hacker extraordinaire is here as always to decode and break down for you what's really going on. So let me tell you the slick kind of dark psychology I'm confident James Gunn and Warner Brothers are running on you. All right, so here's the first psyop tactic. Expectation management. See, this isn't new or novel. In psychology, it's called anchoring. The first piece of information you receive becomes the standard by which you judge everything else. So, when you start with low expectations, thanks to a conveniently leaked negative review, anything remotely decent after that feels like a win. And it's not that the movie needs to be great, it's that you were tricked into thinking it would be garbage. That's not buzz. That's a manufactured dopamine response to artificially lowered expectations. Now, PsyOp tactic number 2, controlled opposition. So let's talk about the critic who leaked that devastatingly bad review. So was it an honest outlier? A rogue reviewer just suddenly, for no reason, risking their access by breaking the embargo to post this devastating review that they know the studio wouldn't want? Or was it a studio-approved sacrificial lamb planted to play the villain in Act 1? That's called controlled opposition. You pretend to let a little hate in the room just to make the love that comes after feel stronger and louder. It's like when politicians plant hecklers in the crowd so they can look tough clapping back. Except now, it's studios possibly planting fake haters to make their maybe mediocre film feel like a masterpiece and an epic comeback story in comparison. Which brings us to PsyOp tactic number 3, contrast framing. So, when an absolutely brutally bad review comes first, and then glowing reviews follow immediately after, your brain processes the positive stuff as more legitimate, more earned. Even if it's all fairly obvious choreographed PR spin, this is how our mind works. It's psychological misdirection. It's the, see, it's not as bad as they said, illusion. And no, it doesn't mean the movie is necessarily going to be better than you expected, but you're tricked into grading on a rigged curve. PsyOp tactic number 4. It's a big one. Reverse psychology and fandom tribalism. See, here's where it gets really clever and devious and really manipulative. This one's based on deep human psychology and human nature. And as a forensic human behavior hacker, I can see it a mile away even through a blindfold. That negative review, it activates fandom tribalism. Suddenly, people who haven't even seen the damn movie, who might have been worried about it themselves, are now defending it like it's their religion. This critic always hates on DC. They just don't get real Superman stories. They don't know who Superman is supposed to be. It's reverse psychology 101. Bash it first, then flood the zone with curated, if not outright bought, glowing positive reviews. And the diehard fans will then do your marketing for you, filled with righteous outrage. And in 2025, baby, marketing and promotions, outrage is the most valuable currency there is. And if you think I'm reaching, just go read the advanced screening reactions that dropped on social media. Look at how much so many of them have phrasing that sounds almost exactly the same. I laughed, I cried at this movie, then followed by 500 studio-approved hashtags so Warner Brothers can see what they tweeted and hopefully retweet or quote tweet it to give them a big clout boost. I mean, what normal person actually talks like that about a movie in a Twitter or Instagram post? I laughed, I cried. Give me a freaking break. So, the question now, why? Why go through all this effort? Well, because from what I've heard from insiders for a while, Warner Brothers is nervous and worried as hell about this movie, and they are deathly desperate for it to succeed. The success of the reboot of their entire DCU superhero movie franchise is depending on Superman being a smash success. This is the movie that launches what they hope will be a successful DCU franchise, which means people's careers and asses are on the line. Now, James Gunn is a talented filmmaker. He'll recover somewhere, even if this doesn't work out. Although a flop here might lead to him losing his job as Warner Brothers' Kevin Feige pretty fast. But other suits and execs will be out the door on their ass with the quickness if this movie doesn't perform at the box office like they need it to. So they're not taking any chances. They're pulling out all the stops And they aren't just releasing marketing for the new Superman movie. They're unleashing an emotionally charged narrative. Us versus them, haters and outsiders versus true believers and fans. And they're casting the us as the people who saw Superman and loved it, calling it super high quality. And in today's economy, the perception of quality is more valuable than actual quality, especially before people go see the movie. They want you to join the us group. The hype is manufactured, controversy is engineered, emotion is monetized. The leak wasn't a leak. It's a psychological warm-up act designed to set the emotional thermostat before the official propaganda, marketing began. So, look, next time you see a conveniently timed bad review, ask yourself, is this real or is this bait? Because if this works big, it's definitely going to be repeated. And remember, in Hollywood, nothing leaks unless someone wants it to. So if you like this breakdown, check out my upcoming video on how studios manipulate Rotten Tomatoes scores. That's a whole nother rabbit hole of weaponized perception that I think you're going to enjoy going down. And if you're tired of getting played by billion-dollar studios using Ivy League psychology to control your opinions, hit subscribe right now. I expose it all right here every week on What They Hide. So, you agree or you see it differently? Either way, smash that like button, comment, and hit subscribe if you want more truth that burns through the nonsense and noise of fame and Hollyweird. And I got plenty more to come, baby. As always, you know how I get down for you. On this channel, what they hide always comes to light. So, till the next video, remember, my friend, always look beneath the surface, keep your mind open, and your eyes will follow. Ask why, question everything, stay dangerous.